The towering city gate was 10 meters high and equally wide enough for 6 riders to pass through side by side. There were also 2 auxiliary gates beside it, each 5 meters high and wide, through which pedestrians could enter. The central main gate was tightly closed. The group from Shrek Academy arrived outside the city gate. Just as they were about to enter the city, they saw a large notice on the bulletin board next to the gate. A job offer. Due to expansion, Blue Tyrant Advanced Spirit Master Academy is now hiring the following personnel: 10 Spirit Masters at level 40 and above. Higher spirit power is preferred, and excellent benefits are offered upon hiring. Upon seeing this notice, Flender was somewhat surprised and said, How much did it cost for this academy to advertise on the city gate bulletin board?" His mood had already recovered somewhat, and his stinginess resurfaced. Qin Ming, who was most familiar with the situation in the capital of the Heavendo Empire, quickly said, Any advanced Spirit Master Academy that can operate within Heavendo City must have some backing. Although I don't know the background of this Blue Tyrant Academy, in the last Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy tournament, it was this academy that eliminated one of the 2 teams from Heavendo Royal Academy in the preliminaries for the Heavendo capital area. However, the students from Blue Tyrant Academy who participated in that competition should have graduated by now, and Heavendo Academy's Emperor team is much stronger than it was during the last tournament. This time, Blue Tyrant Academy probably doesn't stand a chance. Flender asked, How big is this Blue Tyrant Academy?" Qin Ming replied, It's about a third the size of Heavendo Royal Academy. Although it's smaller in scale, its expenses are no less than those of Heavendo Royal Academy, since it operates within Heavendo City, though it doesn't have royal backing. I've heard that the academy is very strict in its teaching and only accepts commoner students, rejecting all nobles. If it didn't have any backing, it couldn't have established itself in Heavendo City. A hint of vengeful pleasure appeared in Flender's eyes. Who says Blue Tyrant Academy has no chance to compete with Heavendo Royal Academy in this tournament? Soon, they'll have the means. Qin Ming was taken aback. Dean, you mean? Flender sighed and said, I've thought it over during our journey. Our original Shrek Academy doesn't really have the qualifications to be an Advanced Spirit Master Academy. Re-establishing it would be incredibly difficult with numerous issues to handle. I'm old, and I can't let so many old friends suffer for my unrealistic dreams. Since this Blue Tyrant Academy seems decent, let's go take a look. Besides, I can't let today's humiliation go unavenged. What do you all think? The last question was directed at the other teachers and the Shrek 7 Devils. Zhao Wuji laughed. You're the boss, you decide. Do you need to ask us? The Shrek 7 Devils spoke in unison. It's up to the dean to decide. Flender smiled slightly and said, If it doesn't work out here, we can go back and re-establish the academy. Let's go and have a look first. No one noticed the sly gleam in Flender's eyes at that moment. Following the address on the bulletin board, the group entered Heavendo City. With Qin Ming as their guide, they navigated the streets quickly and found their destination. Heavendo City was extremely prosperous. All the streets were paved with blue bricks, and even the narrowest streets were as wide as the main road of Soto City. The entire city could only be described as grand. The entrance to Blue Tyrant Academy looked similar to the gate of Heavendo City, though much thinner. The entrance was indeed 10 meters high. The gatehouse, carved from white marble, wasn't exactly luxurious but had an imposing aura. The words Blue Tyrant Advanced Spirit Master Academy were written in large gold characters above the gatehouse. As soon as they arrived at the entrance of Blue Tyrant Academy, Qin Ming immediately found the reception office next to the gatehouse, where recruitment registration room was written. Are you here to apply to be teachers at the academy? The receptionist, a middle-aged spirit master who looked about 40 years old, asked, mainly looking at the Shrek 7 Devils, as they were only in their teens. Flender replied, No, we are the applicants. These children are our students. If we are hired, we hope our students can also enroll in the academy. The receptionist said, "Your student enrollment also requires an examination. Let's have you spirit masters take our test first. If you pass and become teachers, I'm sure your students can be accommodated into the academy. After all, the new student enrollment period has passed, and your students are quite young." Typically, advanced Spirit Master academies only accepted outstanding Spirit Masters who were at least 16 to 18 years old. Generally, they were around 20. Tang San and his companions certainly didn't look 18. No problem. Where is the test? The receptionist had been waiting for days, and the number of Spirit Masters applying was very few. After all, the benefits of becoming a teacher at a Spirit Master Academy couldn't compare to attaching oneself to a prominent family, which was the best path for high-level Spirit Masters. Seeing at least 7 applicants at once, he couldn't help but take them seriously and said, "I'll take you to the test area." Entering Blue Tyrant Academy, they found it quite different from Heaven Do Royal Academy. Although it didn't have the scenic beauty of the mountain at Heaven Do Royal Academy, everything here exuded grandeur. The spacious path led straight inside, flanked by trees, and at the end was a large field over 200 meters in diameter, surrounded by 3-story buildings. The receptionist introduced various facilities in these 3-story buildings, including a simulated environment for cultivation, student dormitories, and teaching buildings. While Heaven Do Royal Academy was built on a mountain, Blue Tyrant Academy was established in the middle of a forest. The area around the teaching buildings was entirely forested, said to be the largest botanical area within Heaven Do City. With such a forest in the capital, as Qin Ming said, who could claim Blue Tyrant Academy had no backing? The receptionist led the group to a spire building, the most solid-looking structure in the academy. Inside was an open hall with no partitions. Light streamed through the windows, making the place extremely bright. The floor was paved with granite, the walls simply whitewashed, with no decorations. The receptionist asked them to wait there and left. Shortly after, 3 Spirit Masters entered. These 3 were also around 40 years old, with ordinary looks and a serious demeanor. They stopped inside the hall, and the leader said, "Each Spirit Master, please take the test one by one. Who will go first?" Everyone looked at Flender. Flender smiled slightly and motioned to Qin Ming, "Xiaoming, you go first." Qin Ming nodded and stepped forward, asking the 3 Spirit Masters, "How will the test be conducted?" The Spirit Master who spoke earlier replied, "Please release your spirit. If you are above level 40, you will spar with one of us. Last 10 minutes to pass." Spirit power level was crucial. Releasing the spirit would reveal the level and type of Spirit Master at a glance. Sparring tested actual combat skills. As a teacher, lacking combat experience was unacceptable. Okay. Qin Ming, holding back his frustration from the incident at Heaven Do Royal Academy, released his spirit without reservation. Instantly, the air in the hall grew heavy. The 3 Blue Tyrant Academy teachers opposite Qin Ming swayed slightly, shock on their faces. These 3 were Spirit Kings, around level 50. The pressure they felt indicated the young Spirit Master before them was stronger. A yellow flame enveloped Qin Ming. With a low growl, his muscles bulged, stretching his clothes. His eyes turned yellow, and 6 spirit rings appeared, 2 yellow, 3 purple, and 1 black. Though not the optimal combination, the sight of 6 rings was awe-inspiring. Qin Ming said in a deep voice, "Level 62 Fire Wolf Battle Spirit Emperor, Qin Ming. Assault type." Wolf spirits typically had ice attributes. Qin Ming's fire attribute was a rare mutation, a perfect fit for Shrek Academy's motto of accepting only monsters. If Qin Ming wasn't a monster, how did he get into Shrek? Level 62? The 3 examiners, facing Qin Ming's intense yellow flames, stepped back, avoiding the heat. Qin Ming raised his right hand, gesturing, "Who will instruct me?" "You want to offer guidance? What's the point of guidance?" A level 50 facing a level 60 attack type spirit master with a variant spirit. There's no need to fight, is there? Well, there's no need for an actual combat assessment. The Academy has a rule that spirit masters over level 60 can skip the additional tests. The head spirit master of the evaluation team at Blue Tyrant Academy wiped some sweat from his brow, thinking to himself, today we've got a powerful one here. Qin Ming retracted his spirit, and the imposing atmosphere subsided, returning everything to normal. One of the three evaluators from Blue Tyrant Academy couldn't help but ask, may I be so bold as to ask your age? Qin Ming calmly replied, 34. This simple number left the three evaluators across from Qin Ming with wide-eyed astonishment. 34. Level 62. What kind of concept was this? Not only had they never seen such a thing, but they had never even heard of it. Flender said, since spirit masters over level 60 don't need additional assessments, we don't need to waste time. Everyone, release your spirit rings. Except for the Grandmaster, the 5 teachers from Shrek Academy simultaneously released their spirits, which were awe-inspiring to ordinary spirit masters. In an instant, 2 spirit emperors and 3 spirit sages appeared, a total of 31 spirit rings, shining in front of the evaluators from Blue Tyrant Academy. Level 63 Dragon Staff Spirit Emperor, Li Yusong, Attack Type. Level 66 Star Chess Spirit Emperor, Lu Qibin, Control Type. Level 71 Jelly Bean Spirit Sage, Xiao Xin, Food Type. Level 76 Diamond Mammoth Spirit Sage, Zhao Wuji, Attack Type. Level 78 Owl Cat Spirit Sage, Flender, Agility Type. From weakest to strongest, the 5 teachers from Shrek Academy, including the 2 deans, reported their strength and names one by one. The 3 evaluators were completely stunned. 7 people had come to apply as teachers, and apart from one who didn't show their strength, the remaining 6 were all over level 60. The numerous spirit rings before their eyes left them dazzled. If Flender and the others hadn't deliberately controlled their spirit power, the 3 teachers from Blue Tyrant Academy might not have been able to stand. Is this enough? Flender's voice carried a slight tremor of spirit power, waking the 3 shocked spirit masters from their stupor. Yes, of course. Please withdraw your spirits, seniors. The 3 of them had become noticeably more respectful. Tang Sen stood among the Shrek 7 devils, observing the scene and thinking to himself that in this world, strength really does speak volumes. At Heaven Do Imperial Academy, when a title de Lua appeared, it suppressed the teachers of Shrek Academy, so much that even Dean Flender had to hold back. But now, the strength of the teachers from Shrek Academy had stunned Blue Tyrant Academy. Strength is indeed the most important thing. Taking a deep breath, the leading teacher from Blue Tyrant Academy respectfully said, "Jim In Shu, a level 54 attack type battle spirit master. I cannot evaluate the levels of you seniors. How about this, I'll take you to meet our dean, and she will decide your levels and treatments." All of them were over level 60, making this recruitment evaluation meaningless. Keeping them was the most important thing. This teacher named In Shu was evidently clever, immediately thinking to show the Academy's sincerity to these powerful spirit masters. Let's go then. Flender smiled slightly. The teachers from Shrek Academy were in much better spirits. Being respected feels much better than being looked down upon. Although the environment here wasn't as good as Heaven Do Imperial Academy, it had its own advantages. Led by In Shu, the 3 teachers from Blue Tyrant Academy walked ahead, leading them out of the spire building and down a small path towards the back of the academy. Soon, they entered the forest surrounding the main campus. The Grandmaster asked curiously, "Doesn't your dean live on campus?" In Shu replied, The dean prefers peace and quiet, so she lives alone in the forest. The daily affairs of the academy are handled by the teachers. Only major issues require consulting the dean." Mentioning the dean, In Shu's eyes showed genuine respect, which came from the heart. EIC. The Grandmaster didn't ask any more questions, but for some reason, he couldn't shake a feeling of unease. After walking for about 10 minutes in the fresh forest air, a faint song floated from ahead. The song was melodious and haunting, full of melancholy and sorrow, deeply touching anyone who heard it. The tune was incredibly gentle. At night, I can't sleep. What can numb the pain? Too many emotions to face. It's not that I don't want you by my side. Some things you can't understand. Letting down my guard, loneliness follows. I want a space of my own. To think about our tomorrow. If love isn't as sweet as we imagined, then let me bear all the pain. My heart is too troubled, it needs some space. If you understand, let me leave temporarily. My heart is too troubled to crave more love. I want to cry, but the tears won't come. My heart is too troubled, it needs some space. Heaven, are you there? Did you forget to arrange it for me? My heart is too troubled, afraid of love's betrayal. I want to cry, like a lost child. A lost child. The song faded away, and Flender and the Grandmaster had already stopped in their tracks as it started. Flender looked somewhat strange, while the Grandmaster was already in tears. A soft female voice echoed, This song, you wrote it for me. Xiao Gang, do you know? My heart is too troubled. Where are you? Seeing Flender and the Grandmaster's strange reactions, everyone else also stopped in surprise. Suddenly, the Grandmaster turned sharply, about to run back the way they came, but Flender grabbed his shoulder. Flender shouted, Xiao Gang, how long are you going to run away? We're already here, do you really have the heart to not see her? Flender, did you know she was here all along? Blue Tyrant Academy, Blue Tyrant Academy, Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon, I should have known. Flender made a helpless gesture. How would I know she was here? This is just a coincidence. Let's go. The Grandmaster's face showed intense struggle. At this moment, the pain in his heart was no less than the physical pain Tang San experienced when absorbing the man-faced demon spider's spirit ring. After 20 years of avoidance, today he had to face it again, and it was completely unexpected. What kind of feeling is that? Flender's hand on the Grandmaster's shoulder was firm and strong, but his heart was somewhat sad. Sister-long, I brought him to you. This time, no matter what, you must hold on to him and not let him go again. Just as the Grandmaster suspected, Flender indeed knew she was at Blue Tyrant Academy. One reason for choosing to come to Heaven Do Imperial Academy was that she was in Heaven Do City. Flender had never forgotten the pain the three of them went through back then. He had long since made up his mind, even if it meant deceiving the Grandmaster, he would reunite them. Is societal judgment really that important? Apart from Zhao Wuji, who was most familiar with Flender, and Tang San, who was closest to the Grandmaster, the others didn't understand what was happening. They could only follow along in confusion. After walking a few hundred meters, the forest thinned out, and a large tree with a sign reading "A restricted area of the Academy, no entry without permission" appeared. Passing this tree, the scenery changed dramatically. A small lake, about 50 meters in diameter, lay before them. A 3-meter-wide stream flowed in from the other side of the forest, keeping the water fresh. By the pond was a simple hut made of wood and thatch, blending perfectly with the surroundings. Inside a fence around the hut were various flowers in full bloom, creating a vibrant and beautiful scene. By the pond stood a simple hut, built from wooden planks and thatch, blending seamlessly with the surrounding environment. Around the hut was a fence, within which various flowers bloomed in a vibrant and colorful display. Among the flowers, a woman stood with a watering can, tending to the plants. Perhaps having heard footsteps, she instinctively looked toward the approaching group from Shrek Academy. A slight frown creased her brow, seemingly disturbed by the intrusion on the tranquility of the place. However, when her gaze passed over the three leading spirit masters from Blue Tyrant Academy, and landed on Flender and the Grandmaster at the back. Her entire body stiffened. Her hand slackened, and the watering can dropped to the ground with a thud, water spilling out as she stood there, completely forgetting it. The woman appeared to be in her 30s, with an elegant presence that her simple green dress couldn't conceal. Her hair was tied up with a cloth headband, revealing a slightly pale but exquisitely beautiful face. Her delicate features were framed by her expressive eyes, which, though dazed, still shone brightly. Beneath her dress, her mature and voluptuous figure was evident, displaying a grace and allure far beyond that of an ordinary young girl. Shu and the other two spirit masters from Blue Tyrant Academy had surmised from Flender and the Grandmaster's conversation that they were acquainted with the Dean. Nonetheless, they adhered to formalities, quickly stepping forward to the fence. Shu respectfully addressed the beautiful woman behind the fence. Dean, there are a few new applicants. 6 of them have spirit power levels above 60. We are not qualified to decide, so we respectfully ask for your judgment. In a flash, the beautiful woman was outside the fence. The Shrek 7 devils couldn't see how she had moved, and even the teachers were astonished. This simple action hinted at her immense strength. Xiao Gang, is it really you? Am I dreaming? Her soft voice asked twice, trembling with emotion. Tears streamed down her pale face as she was overwhelmed by excitement. The Grandmaster's eyes were red as he gazed at the woman he longed for, but dared not meet. His lips trembled, unable to utter a word for a long time. Finally, Flender sighed. Our so-called Golden Iron Triangle is finally reunited today. Erlong, it's been years. How have you been? His heart also sighed, as her eyes were still solely on Xiao Gang. The beautiful woman's unfocused eyes finally sharpened, turning to Flender with a complex expression. Flender, it's been years, and you still look the same. Flender gave a bitter smile. I've aged. You still look as elegant as ever. Let me introduce you to Shrek Academy's teachers and students. We saw your academy's recruitment notice and came seeking a place. Flender introduced the Shrek Academy teachers to the beautiful woman, skipping over the Grandmaster. Finally, he addressed everyone from Shrek Academy. This is Lu Erlong. You might have heard of her. She was the 3rd member of our Golden Iron Triangle. Though Lu Erlong's name sounded strange, the Shrek Academy members respectfully greeted her, and Lu Erlong politely returned their greetings. Erlong, aren't you going to invite us in? Flender smiled. Seeing Lu Erlong again stirred emotions not just in the Grandmaster, but also in him, though he buried them deep inside. Lu Erlong bitterly smiled. Flender, look at my thatched hut. How can it hold so many people? What happened to you all? If anyone else had asked this, Flender might have flipped out. But facing Lu Erlong, he sighed and briefly explained their situation. When Flender mentioned that Shrek Academy had been expelled from Heaven Do Imperial Academy, a fierce look flashed in Lu Erlong's eyes. Heaven Do Imperial Academy, how bold. Flender, say no more. My place is your place. Blue Tyrant Academy is under my control. You all can stay here. From now on, this is your home. Flender glanced at the Grandmaster, then joked, Our requirements are high. Can you handle them? Lu Erlong smiled. Flender, that's not the question. The question is, can you handle it? You're the leader of our Golden Iron Triangle. From now on, this academy is yours. Tomorrow, I'll convene a meeting to announce it. We'll change the name to Shrek Academy and bask in its glory. What? Flender was shocked. Although he knew Lu Erlong was a straightforward woman, he didn't expect her to hand over such a large academy so easily. He was momentarily speechless. The 3 Blue Tyrant Academy teachers were also stunned. Teacher Shu, please announce tomorrow's meeting. These are my friends. We haven't seen each other in years and need to catch up. Prepare a feast in the dining hall. Yes, 16. Although Yin Shu and the others still didn't understand the true relationship between Lu Erlong and these people, they promptly left. Yi Xiao Gang, are you planning to never speak to me again? Lu Erlong's eyes turned back to the Grandmaster. Though still excited, her voice was now calm but tinged with sadness. The Grandmaster trembled as he looked at the beautiful woman before him. His heart ached, and he struggled to speak. Lu Erlong gazed deeply at the Grandmaster. Yi Xiao Gang, I won't let you escape this time. I. Flender smiled. Erlong, this may be a coincidence, but I'll leave him to you. If he escapes again, you may never see him. 20 years have passed so quickly. Lu Erlong took a deep breath, tore her gaze away from the Grandmaster, and addressed the Shrek team. Welcome. Let me introduce you to Blue Tyrant Academy, or rather, Shrek Academy. This forest is the largest in Heavendoe City, fully belonging to the Academy. Although our facilities aren't as good as Heavendoe Imperial Academy, they're not far behind. We've been around for 10 years, accepting only commoner spirit masters. Despite the lower quality of martial spirits, our students train harder than those from noble families. In the last Spirit Master tournament, we made it to the top 8, only slightly behind Heavendoe Imperial Academy's team. After a pause, Lu Erlong continued, future teaching is up to Flender. I've been an unfit dean, and I'm relieved to be free. How dare Heavendoe Imperial Academy expel you? We'll see them at the next tournament. Lu Erlong's demeanor felt strange to the Shrek team. Her words contrasted with her appearance. If she wore luxurious clothes, she'd look like a noblewoman, but her tone was combative. Zhao Wuji, familiar with the Golden Iron Triangle, knew this beautiful woman was formidable. Flender was the flying angle, the Grandmaster the commanding angle, and Lu Erlong was the killing angle, known for her fiery temper. She only restrained herself around the Grandmaster and Flender. Lu Erlong detailed Blue Tyrant Academy's resources, surpassing their expectations. Despite only having over 200 students, the Academy was highly reputable in the Heavendoe Empire's Spirit Master community. Even noble Spirit Masters acknowledged Blue Tyrant Academy's contributions. Although the facilities weren't as good as Heavendoe Imperial Academy, they were far better than the old Shrek Academy. Time's up. Let's eat and talk, Lu Erlong said. Lu Erlong, seeming to forget the Grandmaster, displayed her hearty personality, answering the Shrek team's questions over lunch. She then showed them around Blue Tyrant Academy and arranged accommodations in the teacher's dormitory. As for treatment issues, she left them to Flender. From tomorrow, the Academy would be renamed Shrek Academy. The day had been overwhelming for the Shrek team, filled with joy, shame, anger, and finally, relief. Dinner, under Flender's request, was simple. Everyone quickly finished their meal. Everyone's tired today. Rest early. Tomorrow, we'll be busy, Flender said. Adapting to the new environment was necessary for both teachers and students. With Lu Erlong handing over the academy, Flender didn't hesitate, knowing she intended it as compensation. Despite this, he couldn't refuse Lu Erlong, just as he couldn't in the past. Yi Xiao-san, come walk with me, the Grandmaster said, avoiding Lu Erlong's gaze and heading outside. Okay. Tang-san followed. Lu Erlong gracefully wiped her mouth with a napkin, ignoring the Grandmaster's departure. Flender smiled. Aren't you afraid he'll run? Lu Erlong smiled back with a hint of playfulness. Flender, do you think he can escape after seeing him again? This time, I'll tie him to my side if I must. Outside, the Grandmaster walked towards the forest, drawn to its tranquility.